So Ivory Coast eventually joined the coup. Right now as we speak, they have joined the military regime. See, a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, that's very good. It means that it's going round the Ibrahim Traore fever had caught up Africa." And the other day, I was having a conversation with somebody, and the person said, "Oh, that President Tinubu disrespected Ibrahim Traore." Why? And most people have asked, why is Tinubu coming into this whole picture? Well, we cannot totally rule out the fact that Tinubu is the ECOWAS chairman, something like that, and all Ivory Coast, Benin Republic, is it Benin Republic or they call it, sorry, Niger Republic, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, are all under ECOWAS. And then they pulled out because they saw that the ECOWAS body wasn't protecting them. So just today we saw the breaking news, and people were like, "Oh wow, finally they saw it coming." Some people say they saw it coming. Some say they didn't see it coming. Why is? In fact, they took. If you saw the way the whole place was, there was serious unrest in the Ivory Coast, and you could see that their president, because all of this ECOWAS, community, all the countries under ECOWAS, they were all practicing democracy. It was not, there were no military, and all of those. Not until Ibrahim Traore came up in Burkina Faso and, had to topple the government. And before Ibrahim Traore toppled the government, they had a similar case like that where the military personnel toppled the government and took over from a civilian. And then when Ibrahim Traore saw that the man was not doing well, he toppled the government also, took over from the man. And so far, he has done excellently beautiful. Like, there's nobody who would not say good things about Ibrahim Traore. In fact, just recently, I watched a clip where one of these Pan-Africanists that we used to see was saying that, he said that once Nigerians get it right, every other African country will get up. Somebody on the comment section said, no, we don't need to wait for Nigeria to get it right. The overtaking is allowed. Now, tell me how most African countries will not want to be part or parcel of this. Now, I saw a clip where somebody was talking down of Cyril Ramaphosa, that Cyril Ramaphosa went to the White House to go and see President Trump, and he was being disrespected according to him, that he was supposed to ask what's going on in Gaza, not to sit down there, be remote controlled, that anything the American president says is what he would do. I mean, for me, I was surprised, because how did he even go there? Because he was the same person that said, hey, he doesn't care, whatever will happen, America can go to hell, Donald Trump can go to hell, he doesn't care. So I'm wondering, why is he in the White House? What is he doing there? And people were like, oh, see how he was sitting as if he was a beggar, he was so past. I wish the blacks, the Africans can just sit down and put their heads together and do what is right. Now, one will ask, why is Ivory Coast joining Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger? The reason they are joining is because the government in these particular countries are doing the bidding of their colonial masters. Why are they doing the bidding of the colonial masters? And one would have asked, why is it that these colonial masters do not want to leave Africa alone? Of course, now the truth is not far-fetched. They want to keep, harnessing, they want to keep embezzling, they want to keep taking all our natural resources from Africa. That's exactly what they want to do. With the way Nigeria is going currently with the new Electoral Reform Act that has been making the rounds, where Peter Rankin has been talking about it, and he has gone to the National Assembly and he has passed through all the due process of submitting, according to him, the petition and whatever it is that they want electoral reform. Now, it's high time, if we truly have government in Nigeria, for them to look into this thing, because just look at the trend of events. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger were the three, African countries that broke out. Before they broke out, remember, they went into they toppled the government, they took over, they became military regime and all of that. And then France stopped sending things to Niger. And then one day they woke up when they had the flood last year during the rains. They now sent aid without passing through the government. So they didn't pass through the government. And then the president got to hear, he said, what are people doing in my place. We don't need your aid. Get out. He kicked them out. And just shortly there, they were now like, no, now they have to make peace. They now came, they say, no, they are sorry that they did not come to the government, la, la, la. And if you look at this whole thing, there's a trend to it. Not long, our president went to France, said he's going for whatever. They went there, they tried to sing some Nigerian music. People were saying, some people who saw it in the bigger picture, they say, this people are celebrating. Hope you understand that it doesn't make sense. What are we going to these people to do? These people need us, we don't need them. They say, no, the president went there. He went there to do what? Some people have said, oh, President Tinubu went there because he wants them to invest. Invest what? Every money that is in the France accounts majorly comes from Africa. What do? When African government or head of states bring the money to them, they put it into their economy. They make profit. They don't give back to the Africans. They don't give back to African countries. They now, pay. You have to pay for interest for going there to collect money. So all those monies they used to give. Just recently, I heard that the Nigerian government had paid back the IMT grant Tabi loan. So when you look at all these things, you discover that these people, we don't really need them. They need us. But what are people saying? Look at now, Ivory Coast has joined. So they are now a military, country, a military regime. They are a military regime. Who is next? People are asking, who is next? We all are asking, what country is next in Africa? Because as you see it, it's going to be, someone said, oh, they've caught the Ibrahim Traore fever. And that's exactly what is going on. It's not just catching the Ibrahim Traore fever, but the people who are catching this fever, are they visionary leaders like Ibrahim Traore? Ibrahim Traore is a visionary leader who is looking out for the good of his people, who is fighting to ensure that his people get the best education in technology, everything, facility, medical facility, all of those good stuff, good housing, electricity, steady water, all of those things. He just look at his visit when he went to see when he was in he went to see Putin, see what he was asking him. Very, very important things about education, about scholarship and all of those things. So if you're a president, whether you are in Nigeria, people say, oh, God forbid, we don't want military regime. It's okay, but let your president, his vice, and all his cabinet sit up, because this is how it starts. When people begin to complain, and they can no longer complain, or maybe they get to a place where they are stuck, they will fight back. So it's high time they looked into this whole thing to see the loopholes on how they can fix this whole thing, because it doesn't make sense. It will never make sense. And the fact that these people have kids, they send them abroad, they send them outside Africa. Okay, if all these politicians have children who school within Africa, one will say, okay, everything is just within Africa. But you send your children to Europe to go school, then you stay back in Africa and you do not do the right thing, no facility on ground for people to use, whether it's academic purpose or for a technical, nothing. All you are looking out for your own children once they are okay. What about the people that you swore to govern? You see, when people take office of they swear an oath, they don't know what an oath is. If they know, they will not swear an oath and then do something else. Honestly, they do not know the enormity of what they are doing. They amass wealth, they go out into Europe, they learn, they see all those beautiful things, but when they come to Africa, they don't implement it. They only look for implementation when it has to do with the masses, things that they will surprise the masses for. I like what Ibrahim Traore had done, and I like the fact that he has recruited more African countries. And before the end of this year, you'll be amazed that they will have up to 10 African countries that have left civilian rule into military, because military, once they say something, they are doing it there and there. There's nothing like come tomorrow. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your constant support on this channel. I do not take it for granted one bit. And I hope that you come back when next I upload a video. But let me know your thoughts about this coup. Do you think it was necessary for Ivory Coast to, because the reason why they took over Ivory Coast president, took over the power from him is because he's doing the bidding of the colonial masters, and their people are not happy.